Sigal Shoham, and this is the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change your world. I will be hosting today's show, and we'll be examining the topic of parenting. With me in the studio to explore the topic are Miki Kashtan, our conflict coach, Jared Finkelstein, and Barbara Kochan, our role players. They'll work together to role play various parenting situations. I'll be watching what they do along with you and asking questions about what happens. Let's start off by looking at a parent-toddler conflict.
Hi. So this is a conflict between Emily. How old are you, Emily?
I'm 3.
Wonderful. Emily is being played by Barbara, and this is Sam, who is played by Jared. And let's not get confused between the two. So watch what happens.
Emily, I told you 5 minutes ago that you had to be ready for school, and I see you don't even have your shoes on. Please put your shoes on, and it's time for us to leave.
But Daddy, look at my picture.
Emily, I don't want to look at your picture right now. I want you to put your shoes on so we could go. We are running late. Go. Put your shoes on.
No.
Emily, put your shoes on.
Daddy,
Emily.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. This sounds tough for both of you. And in a moment, we're going to come back to see how we might be able to transform it into something that has a little bit more peace for everyone. And meanwhile, let's go back to Sigal.
Thank you, Miki. Conflict Hotline is a live program about the common challenges we all face in our relationships, at home, and in the world. It's about what awareness and skills we can develop to face those situations more successfully. We are an all-volunteer effort, and we're affiliated with Bay Area Nonviolent Communication. If you'd like us to use your situation in a future show, please email us at conflicthotline@baynvc.org. Now let's see what happens when we bring some consciousness and skills to this situation.
Thank you. So, Sam,
Yeah.
I get a sense that this is way not the first time it happens.
No, it's every morning.
And that this is incredibly stressful because you're really trying to make things happen and go to school and work, and everything is on a timeline for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's really difficult to have this child that you kind of like beside yourself to know how to make it all happen.
Yeah, I think maybe one day a week we get out the door in an easy fashion, but other than that, it's impossible.
Yeah, and what I am imagining is that the stress of having to go out the door, combined with the history of all the times when it didn't work, makes for a lot of tension in you, even before you start speaking to her. Is that true?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I already know I'm going to get a no before I even ask.
Yeah. So I want to check something with Emily before we start, and then I'm wondering, Emily, I know you're only 3, but you probably can feel certain things. Do you feel tension when he comes to ask you to put the shoes on?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and I bet it's not pleasant.
No. I just want to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. So the difficulty is that the dynamic, like you're saying, in a way becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the very fact of your coming already tense, you're reducing the chances of having an outcome that you like.
Yeah.
I'm hearing the but.
Well, it's an and. I guess I am tense.
Yes.
It's not just Emily. I feel bad raising my voice at Emily. I just want some cooperation. I just want some compliance because I already am stressed.
Right. So this is where it gets really hard, because in reality, her inner experience is completely different from yours. She doesn't have any time constraints.
I know.
She doesn't have anything that is creating pressure on her other than you. Mm. So if you want to create a situation of cooperation, there's there in cooperation. There's something very profound that I understood some years ago, that there's a difference between cooperation and obedience. And if you want obedience, then that's one thing. But cooperation is two people working together. It's not the same as one person does what the other person wants. Now, I totally get that you want to get out the door. The question is, how can you create something that includes her different rhythm, and the reality that your time is so stressed? This is one of the hardest situations for any parent that I've ever encountered. So I'm curious, just anything that comes up for you about this.
Oh, and I guess hearing that it's a hard situation for other parents brings me a certain amount of relief, I guess. Or
You're not alone.
I'm not alone. I guess it's frustrating because I asked her to be ready 5 minutes ago, and so in some ways that was my attempt to create more space or have patience. And so I hear what you're saying about cooperation, but I guess I really want obedience to my first demand, my first request, to have her ready in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can completely appreciate that you would want that. And the thing is that a part of what is hard to understand is that when you ask her and you tell her 5 minutes from now, I'm not even confident that she understands the meaning of it in the way that it is for you. 5 minutes is not something that that body feels. It's what's funny is that we tend to forget that children don't think in the same way that we do. It's kind of like most parents think that children think the same way and feel differently, but it's actually the opposite. They feel the same way, they think differently. So the question is there a way for you to enter her world, even for a moment, to provide a bridge for her to join your world?
I'm open. How do I do that?
What is most important to her?
Well, right now I would say it's drawing. And I'm guessing that because she's drawing.
So I'm wondering if you can try out, first of all, having an extra 5 minutes in the morning, during which you have the space to look at the picture for a moment, so that there can be that kind of resting in the connection. Because the connection is what she can lean on to come into your world, which is different from hers. Want to try that out?
Yeah. What are you doing, Emily?
I'm making flowers.
You're drawing flowers?
And mountains.
Flowers and mountains? May I look at your flowers and mountains?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see that shape there. That looks a lot like a flower. Will you show me where the mountains are?
These are
I want to
some
pause because I
mountains.
think you're taking more time than you actually have.
I don't feel like I've taken too much time, and yet
Because
even the
you
initial question was more time than I guess normally I tell myself I have.
But I noticed that doing this calmed you down too.
Yeah.
So there is something amazing here because she has something to offer you if you just open to her world. And that's a quality of peace and being in the moment. Do you feel that?
No, very much so, yeah. Now I'm actually wanting to spend more time looking at the picture and discussing mountains and flowers than the obligations, I guess, that I also have to, or tell myself I have to tend to.
So,
but how do I transition?
How do you transition? Some way of saying, of conveying something like, like, that's so sweet, I'm so glad to see this, and wondering if now you're ready to put your shoes on and go to school.
I want to thank you for showing me your pictures, Emily. Are you ready to put your shoes on now and come to school?
Yeah, can I continue to draw in the car?
Oh, I'd love that. In fact, would you like me to pack up your drawing supplies for you?
Yes, please.
How did that feel?
I mean, Honestly, I'm torn between some skepticism that it would work and also really feeling that peace you were talking about, a sense of delight or I'm more in harmony with how I would like to be with my daughter than the way I normally sound.
Yeah, so what you, let's get to the skepticism in a moment, because I really want to address that. But for one thing, what I'm getting is that this way of interacting is more aligned with how you want to be as a parent.
Absolutely.
There's a sense of tragedy that I have that so often, because of the pressures of life, the quality of communication between parents and children, especially young children, is a stream of instructions. Do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, do this. You recognize it?
Yeah, yeah.
And in that exchange, the magic of being together, of accompanying a child on this incredible journey, of having the journey of watching your child grow, kind of gets lost.
Yeah.